on Sunday. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good morning. Happy Friday. How do you think the Lakers should spend their money?
Well, the first thing, if I were running the Lakers, I think the player that fits with LeBron and AD better than any player on the planet, better than any star out there,
Klay Thompson.
is Klay Thompson. I would get LeBron on the horn. Now, I don't think they're going to get him, but I would get him on the horn. I would talk to Michael Thompson, who would love for Klay to be a Laker. Like, Klay would be perfect with AD and LeBron. I mean,
He breaks Steph's record of full six. He break that.
oh my
Them
God.
looks he gonna get.
It would be incredible. Now, again, I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be my first thing. I would get it out to him. We want you number one above anybody.
Would Klay
you
leave on the
take
table? Is it another
50-ish? 50-ish?
million?
Yep.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to happen.
The only way he would entertain that if they don't offer him the max.
That's what he's
5 for
saying.
190.
Right. That's what he's saying. But I would try to get word to him before that. Would you even consider it? Because you're our number one guy. Now, I don't think he'd do it, but that would be number one. Number two, Kawhi's a no-brainer. All right. He's so good. I don't worry about how they would fit. It'd just be
So good.
They would just win it because those three players are so good.
So good, Skip.
Three of the what? Top 10
Okay,
players
let's
or
say
whatever.
10. That's not like 10, but we think we got three of the top
And
six.
No, wait a second.
defensively,
Tell me when it's my turn, please. I'll just wait over
I'm gonna
here
let you
just
go
my
after
It's
Chris.
still
I'm gonna let
Chris's
you-
I've got
I'm gonna let
plenty
you go after
more.
Chris.
It's still
Plenty
Chris's
more.
turn.
All right. They defensively with Kawhi and AD, it'd be crazy. Now, they also would max Kyrie. I don't know that I would, but they would max Kyrie.
You would not. Why?
Here, I would, I just think look, it works so well together with LeBron and Kyrie, but the reason it worked well in Cleveland was because Kevin Love stepped back.
Right.
Now, looking at those three with AD, who's stepping back? Nobody, none of those guys is going to play the Kevin Love, Chris Bosh role.
Right.
So what I would want is LeBron to look at this latter stage of his career as the Magic Johnson era. And he should be the playmaker, setting up Kyrie, setting up AD. I think AD should probably lead him in scoring. Maybe Kyrie's even second. Maybe. LeBron probably would end up being second just because he gets points. But if they do that, I think it could work. Otherwise, it'd be a challenge just because the three games don't perfectly fit together. So I would not go for Kyrie. I don't think they're getting any of the three, Klay, Kawhi, or Kyrie. The other guy, this is how they view D'Angelo Russell. They don't want to max him, but they feel like if Kyrie goes to Brooklyn, then D'Angelo will get renounced, and then they will try to get him for less than the max, 22, 23 million, something like that. I think what they should do if they don't get Klay or Kawhi is just go get three guys. I'm looking at Brook Lopez. I'm looking at Patrick Beverly. I'm looking at Seth Curry. I'm looking at Terrence Ross. Like, those are the guys. You need depth. Your first two are so good, and Kuzma can be the third guy. So that's how I would do it if I'm the Lakers. I just think Klay and Kawhi are so good. Just take them and figure it out. But
you're saying that's not going to happen anyway.
Yeah, I don't think they get Klay, Kawhi, or Kyrie. Now, of the three of those, this will surprise you. I think the best chance is Kawhi, actually. Because unless Kyrie could be in an interesting situation. I don't think the Lakers are that high on this list at this point. But if Brooklyn doesn't get KD and they say, you know what, we're not going to take Kyrie as first of all, we know we're your second choice to Brooklyn. Secondly, we're not sure. We're not going to take that chance either and take you. Then where does Kyrie go? That's where the Lakers become, I think, potential for Kyrie. But I don't think they get either of those three. So I think you go get three guys with the money.
Take it away.
No, you go.
No, go ahead. Because I know you chomping at the bit. You don't want Lakers to be doing anything anyway.
So, my friend Chris Broussard just said that it would be a no-brainer to go after number two if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. You said that, right?
Yes.
No-brainer, and
Yes.
you said it'd be over.
Without question. It would be over.
He predicted
75-7.
It might be
75-7, even though we got load management.
Right, it'd be a lot of load management up in there.
Okay, but they're so good. The
Championship.
Three of them, if they'd win 75
Okay, 16-14. Okay, my bad. 16-14.
They could all
The
take
bottom line is
turns.
championship.
They could take turns playing solo nights, and they'd go 68.
No, we always going to have 2 or 3 in the lineup.
Okay, 2 out of 3 and 68 and 14. Here's my problem with your premise of no-brainer. you would also have no closer. There's no closer among those three. LeBron failed miserably trying to close games early last year, and even you have admitted that at times on this show, because he is a lousy late-game free throw shooter. Am I right?
Free throws, yes.
Free throw.
But we know he has closed games with shots.
I don't know many, because he's now played 16 years, and he went 15 years. Well, we go back actually 14. He went 14 years having closed light with walk-off shots. He had 2 in 14 years. That's pathetically bad, given that many attempts that he passed up because he passed, but he made the right play, you guys always said, because he was afraid to have to go to that free throw line because he knew he was going to get fouled. Am I right about that?
No.
No,
he
I don't agree.
Not a closer. And I've told you again and again, I know Kyrie took a beating last year for what went wrong in Boston. He's still, to me, the best closer in basketball. There's nobody I would want with the ball in his hands in the late game situation than Kyrie Irving. So I'm opting for Kyrie right now in this situation, because AD, remember, what was he in New Orleans? He was 34 games under 500. He has transcendent talent, according to this man.
He does.
He is PER king or
number
prince,
3 all time. Well, number 3 or 4 all time behind Jordan and LeBron.
His record in New Orleans was 216 and 250. So 34 games under 500. Why was that? There's some intangible missing. I've said that for years on TV. He's a tremendous player, but you need somebody that you say, he's our go-to closer. Toronto had Van Vliet. He closed. He made 3 threes in the fourth quarter of the closeout game, because that's who they looked to. That's who number 2 passed to at the end of the game. Remember that? He said,
they didn't look to Van Vliet.
Yes, they did.
He just happened, because of their egalitarian offense, whoever's in the role.
That's the first time that word has ever been used on this show, and I like it.
He was just in the right place, and Kawhi doesn't dominate the ball, so he got his shot.
You guys give number 2 the biggest pass, because he is not a closer. He never was in San Antonio, and that was a reason they didn't offer him the max. A reason, along with his constant injuries. But he wasn't the go-to fourth quarter guy that you give the max to. You got to give me a second here. I'm going to run down what just happened in these playoffs. Everybody gave him a pass for this, and it drives me crazy. He failed miserably in fourth quarter after fourth quarter after fourth quarter against Philly. Go back and look this up. Game 2, fourth quarter, they lost the game. He was 0 for 3. Game 3, fourth quarter, 0 for 2 in the fourth quarter. They lost that game. Let's go to Milwaukee. Game 1 loss, 0 for 3 from the floor in the fourth quarter. Game 2 loss, 1 for 4 from the floor in the fourth quarter. This is supposed to be a guy you guys say, he's dominating. He's transcendent. He's the MVP, the runaway MVP of the playoffs. What happened in Game 3? They go back to Toronto. This is against Milwaukee. Do you remember what happened? The final 1:13 of the fourth quarter, they had a 5-point lead, and all they need to do is for him to close it. And Milwaukee scores 5 quick points to send it to overtime, because number 2 didn't even get a shot up in the last 1:13.
And then what they do?
Okay.
He took over.
Okay. He took over, says Shannon Sharp. And that's why you're giving him a pass. You're sweeping it under the carpet. First overtime of Game 3. This is the turning point game of that series for them. What did he do in the first overtime? He missed 2 shots to win the game at the end of the game. Do you remember that? The final 113, he missed, I'm sorry, this is the first overtime. He missed 2 shots to win the game.
Yeah, I remember.
All right. So then we go to
second overtime.
Game 6. Well, then Giannis fouled out. Remember? He fouled out with like seconds into the last overtime.
He just brushed over that.
Like you couldn't sweep that under the rug.
Giannis fouled out.
We fouled him.
All right. Well, then Milwaukee just gave up. You could just see they're like, we lost him. And I don't know if he fouled out all year. Did he? I don't think he did. Okay, Game 6, the closeout win against Milwaukee. He goes 1 for 4 from 3 in the fourth quarter. Now we go to the finals. The Game 2 that they lost at home, fourth quarter. Clay goes down with a hamstring with 8 minutes left, and Steph down the stretch goes 0 for 0 and 0 for 0 from the line. He can't even get a shot up. What does number 2 do down the stretch? He goes in the fourth quarter, 1 for 6 from the floor and 0 for 3 from 3. And you guys are praising him like he's the greatest thing that ever came along.
And then guess what he said? Remember when Nick Nurse said, guys, all we have to do is go to Golden State and win one of these games, and we're back on. Kawhi stood up and said, F it. Let's get both of them. Now, if Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant had said that, we'd have been heaping praise on him.
Did Clay play in Game 3?
He played in Game 4.
Here's the thing, too. What if you gave the stats for Kawhi when Clay got hurt? If Kawhi had dominated, you wouldn't have given him credit, because you would have said Clay is out.
Did he dominate?
Yeah. No, but
did he smell blood and take over?
What game was it when he scored 10 points in 2 minutes in the fourth quarter?
Okay, game 5. He goes on a flurry, and he has a great flurry. And then what happened? With 3:28 left in that game, he made his last shot. And then down the stretch, he goes 0 for 2 shooting an air ball jumper. Remember that? And then he had a 3 to win the game with 1:10 left to put them ahead.
Right.
And he missed that 3. And those are the only 2 shots he took down the stretch until the last shot, and he turned it down because it looked like a double team was coming.
Yep. It was a double team.
Just drive it.
He made the right pass.
Just drive it.
What about game 4, Chris? You want to talk about game 4 when he had that 17 to 3rd?
Right.
Okay, but it was a blowout.
We blew him out.
That's not closing. That has nothing to do with closing. Then I'm going to finish up.
36-12.
The game is also 48
Game 6 is the closeout game. They lose Kevin Durant with a ruptured Achilles. They lose Klay Thompson with a wrecked knee. And then what happens in the